Today we're going to talk about self-storage. There's a lot of competition for a lot of the more sought-after types of commercial and multifamily properties. So that leaves investors asking, man, what can I invest in? And you would be surprised, self-storage. I'm driving through a self-storage park right now, just a classic single-story drive-up self-storage facility, 300 doors. And it's up for sale, so I'm just checking that out and checking the property out, looking at the streets, curbs, gutters, the doors. This is an older facility, 20 years old. What do the gutters look like? Roof, the doors, the handles on the doors, the fencing, things like that. What does the area around it look like, the surrounding area? So you use a lot of the same metrics when you're viewing a self-storage property that you do any other property when you look at the surrounding areas and conditions. Sometimes it comes with residual buildings along the side, or extra land, or things like that you can get creative with. There's a lot of ways to drive extra income with storage, but here's what I want you to think about today. So storage traditionally has outperformed most other types of commercial real estate when you look at the last, I don't know, 20, 30, maybe even longer years. I've read some reports recently that, how well storage is done in relation to all these other different types of commercial property. Now, that's the other thing. Remember, type and class are not the same thing. There are 6 types of commercial property. There's office, industrial, retail, land, hospitality, multifamily. Those are your types of commercial property. Real estate is an asset class, just like stocks, bonds, cash. Real estate is an alternative asset class, like gold, silver, oil, Bitcoin. Those are alternative assets. Commodities. Those are asset classes. Within the asset class of real estate, you have residential, and there's different types of residential, and you have commercial, there's different types of commercial, and then within the commercial there's subtypes and classes. So just remember, when you're talking about commercial real estate, you want to sound sophisticated, put together, and like you know what you're doing. Class and type are not the same thing. So self-storage is not an asset class within real estate. It is a subtype of industrial, but it has a retail component to it, right? Especially in this day and age, storage is getting more and more retail oriented, where people are putting them front and center on major thoroughfares and retail corridors, doing a multi-level storage. Now you got to really study those and watch them, because the interior upper level spaces are not as desirable in most areas as just the ground level drive up units. And those are more versatile, they're more desirable, people like those, but in certain areas you have to go multi-story, and people are used to that, and more urban type locations, things like that. So self-storage is a great space to be in. There's a lot of ways that you can automate the business, and it does have a retail component. You can add value by adding additional services, things like that, managing the property better, working on the income and expenses in different ways. You could put kiosk out there so that people can have literally 24-hour access, and they can lease a unit 24 hours a day by putting a kiosk outside the gate. And there's all kinds of software to manage these things online now with websites. I don't know, I think it's 40 or 50% of the units that get rented now get rented online. People don't even do it at the office or at the kiosk. So as we get more and more advanced technology, advanced and mobile friendly, most everything's done on a mobile phone now. You want to have an app or a website where people can go to and lease your storage units on their mobile phone. So that's a quick, brief rundown of self-storage. If you're not familiar with it, take a look at it. It's a great little space to be in. You don't have to worry about tenants and toilets and evictions and things like that. It's much easier to deal with collection situations. If you have somebody not paying, you can evict them from the unit, then you can take the stuff and sell it, and you can recoup all of your money that's owed in back rent, fees, things like that. So storage can be a great space. It is becoming more and more competitive, but it's a fragmented market. There's a lot of opportunity out there, a lot of seller financing, a lot of creative ways to get into that space. So take a look at it, study it, learn about it, and we'll talk more about self-storage in the next video.